Okay, what's going on? It's your boy CJ Goodfellow back with the boxing clinic, and we in a good mood. Happy LeBron lost last night. Shout out to KD for doing his thing. But yesterday we talked about Freddie Roach. Basically ducking Terence Crawford. Go back and watch that video. And today I went live on Facebook. Speak on the situation in in-depth detail. I wasn't gonna do it on YouTube, but it's a hot topic. I discovered the article, him talking on Boxing Scene like 30 minutes before the game, and I pretty much skimmed through it. I've seen Boxing Ego, say that Freddie Roach, said that basically black fighters don't sell, versus Pacquiao, in general. And, a lot of people, I haven't watched a lot of people reaction to it. I just seen, the threads, and I get to 7-8 Sports and Boxing Ego. I'm pretty sure Dante's Boxing Nation going to touch on it. Three main ones I really pay attention to. But, I might be in the minority, but I'm not just saying that they don't sell versus Pacquiao. I'm just saying that, black boxers don't have a following. They don't have a mass following. And it's unfortunate, And, I ain't going to say they don't sell versus Pacquiao because it's up to Bob Arum, the promoter for Terence Crawford, to know how to promote Terence Crawford. Nobody has a Da Vinci Code how to properly promote a black fighter these days, Ali was a different caliber. You know what I mean? He was iconic. He was a social legend. Sugar Ray Leonard was just different. He was cut from a different cloth. People have been watching him on free TV. I'll get into that in a minute. I talked about that on Facebook Live. If you want a little bit more in-depth detail about this situation, how I see it. But on the Boxing Clinic page as well on Facebook. But he was different. He was fighting on free TV, and he had this pretty boy clean-cut image. As an Olympian, he was fighting on free TV, and then, his following, followed him. You have a guy like Marvin Hagler who did it the hard way, fighting the hardest fighters on the East Coast, and, finally got his just due from just consistently and persistently, chopping at it, cutting it down. And nobody really knows the Da Vinci Code to promote a black fighter because, like Mexicans, like Canelo, they have a mass following. Their country backed them. Canelo Alvarez, Marquez, Barrera, Morales, Chavez Sr., they backed them. Puerto Rican, the small island, they backed Felix. They backed Miguel Cotto. They backed Felix Verdejo. Now, even though he hasn't, fulfilled his promise yet and it's very early, they backed them. As far as, black fighters in America, there's no following. You see these UK guys come over. If it's Joshua when he comes over, he's going to bring his army. Ricky Hatton brought his army. Carl Froch brought his army. These guys, they have backing. Ricky Burns, he's not the greatest fighter, but he fills up that damn stadium over there in Glasgow. He does the damn thing. As far as black fighters, they don't get the following. They just don't in America. America just doesn't, follow American fighters. You have Joe Smith Jr. out there that, hopefully they promote him right as a Caucasian fighter. But as far as Terence Crawford, yes, he peaked at 1 million views on HBO. Good for him. But he's not the most popular fighter, even if you don't equate, for black fighters, don't equate Floyd Mayweather. I believe Adrian Broner is well more known. He has more notoriety than Terence Crawford, and not for the simple fact that he's a better boxer. He's got better marketability. He's a clown, but he's a smart clown. He get paid to walk through the club 30, 20K like he's a performing artist. He might not take his craft serious, but his mouthpiece puts him on the map. Shane was an exciting fighter. Pacquiao did do 1 million views with Shane, even when he was washed up and old, after Mayweather beat him. It never was documented what he did with Cloudy, but it's estimated he did 700,000 views with Cloudy at Dallas Cowboys Stadium. But what you consider him black, he's more African, but we'll throw him in there. And, of course, Floyd Mayweather, he did what he did with him because how the special build-up for that fight is. But Freddie Roach do have a point, even though he probably said it or people took it out of context. He's right, though. But, this is what I think about it. Jesse Vargas was Mexican, right? But nobody know who the fuck Jesse Vargas was as a casual fan. So Pacquiao fought him because it was an easy fight. It was a quick payday, even though it didn't bring the right dollar amount to the fight. He still fought Jesse Vargas because it was easy pickings and it was easy money. Terence Crawford is way more known than Jesse Vargas, and this where, Freddie the Coach Dope Roach, as Floyd Mayweather Sr. like to say, stepping on his motherfucking toes. You know, he on some bullshit here. You know, Vargas ain't known. You know, is Timothy Bradley more known than Terence Crawford is at the first Pacquiao fight? It's close. You know, it's close. You know, Timothy Bradley blew up after that fight because of the robbery. He wasn't, you know, head and shoulders bigger than Terence Crawford is right now. Truthfully told. So I think they're about the same level. I don't think Bradley he probably did 1 million views with Devin Alexander, but that was one of the worst fights I ever seen. HBO, that's when the point HBO stopped putting money into fights like that, promoting fights. They promoted the shit out of Alexander versus Bradley, Devin Alexander versus Tim Bradley, and it failed. But he's stepping on his toes, you know what I mean? He about to fight Jeff Horn in Australia. Nobody in the fucking America know who Jeff Horn is, but he's gonna get paid because people in Australia, I don't even think that fight sold out in Australia, but people in Australia is gonna buy the pay-per-view, I guess. It's a new market. You know, he didn't sell over there in China. You know, fighting whoever the fuck he fought in China, he didn't sell out like that. So Pacquiao ain't been a high selling ticket. You know, if you're gonna sit in the game and hold the belt, fight Terence Crawford. You know, if you get a little bit more than Jesse Vargas, you know, do the fans a justice. If you're gonna stick in the game, fight him. You know, he said black fighters don't sell. You know, I agree to a certain extent with Freddie Roach, but Jesse Vargas didn't nobody know who the fuck he was. Brandon Rios didn't pull a lot of numbers. That's who he fought in China with. You know, Tim Bradley wasn't big as, you know, just as big as Terence Crawford is now, so fight him. We gone.